Hello and welcome to this Monday, August 12th, 2019 episode of Tesla Sidekick. Today's episode is about being inspired by the Model S to house the homeless. See, there are issues with housing crisis. There's a housing crisis, an affordable housing crisis, and it's across the whole country. But it is exacerbated in places like Reno, where the Gigafactory is nearby. You've got Sparks, Nevada with the Gigafactory, and you are finding that they're having issues. Anywhere there's prosperity, there are going to also be issues with affordable housing. It's just inevitable. So I've taken the inspiration from the Model S, from the Gigafactory, from Tesla, from all these things, and I've come up with an affordable housing solution. It starts with the Happy Hero Studio, much like the Roadster was. So that's a studio starting at $100,000, and enables you to do incredible things and enables you to create. That's the purpose. It's about creation. It's about, the law of creation, as a good friend of mine puts it. This law is basically that if you continue to put things out there, that you can create anything. And I follow Napoleon Hill's teachings. I follow a lot of things like that, like Tony Robbins. And I've developed my own habits for basically happiness, health, and selfless abundance. It really begins with living happy, healthy, and selflessly abundant through faith, working to solve problems and serve others with passion. Playing hard, but loving harder. Learning and growing by following curiosity and paying it forward with gratitude. And with the Model S, with the factory idea, with the concept of taking the prototype like the Roadster was and the Happy Hero Studio is, and then going to mass manufacture so that we can house homeless, refugees, people that need it most, create affordable housing, create housing that can pop up and be moved, transported. This is really about creating opportunity that has never been created before, that's never been quite done this way, because we didn't have this level of technology. Technology has taken big things and put them in little things. You look at 30 years ago, it didn't matter who you were. You couldn't have the amount of power that you have in an iPhone. It didn't matter. The most powerful people in the world didn't have the power that's in an iPhone. So we've got to look at what's come over the last 30 years and really look at the innovations in personal empowerment. Okay, so that's where the Model S really thrives, with what Elon is doing, with what he's learning with factories, with who he's partnering with. He needs to contact me. People that know him need to put us in connection. My wife believes that we need to work together. I believe that I can help provide housing around the Gigafactory. I believe that I can help create pop-up villages around the Gigafactory to help feed, house, and empower these people that are living, working, playing, and then loving, learning, and paying it forward in this area. I mean, this is where people will live. I truly believe that I started this podcast to attract the right people and bring the right things into place to help feed, house, and empower 1 billion people to live, work, play, love, learn, and pay it forward for happiness, health, and selfless abundance by 2049. That's the next 30 years of my life. This is my lifetime commitment. I have prepared this far. It's going to be a constant, never-ending improvement, but now I'm ready. Now I have the self-confidence. Now I have the resources at my disposal to have my own personal studio, in a sense, and now I'm putting the content out there, working on the official prototype, and that will be finalized with deposits, and then people can decide to either transfer the deposits to other purchasers or put down a full payment or find financing some other way. We're working on financing options. The point is that it's financing this final phase of prototyping to get production in place, to get a factory in place, because it's not just about the studio, but the studio is to create the marketing buzz. And I've talked so much about this, and the inspiration starts in the Model S. And the Model S and Elon's content helped me to develop the Happy Hero Studio and the Happy Hero Space. So that's where the inspiration comes from. That's why I'm talking so much about it. It is definitely self-promotion, 100%. I'm not going to be dishonest about that. But it's also a way to help you understand the significance of the Model S, the significance of the Roadster. The Roadster was a prototype. The Model S was a production for, the standard person. And, after, it was him, but it was something that many people would want. And it was really a universally wanted vehicle. It was just too pricey. And then the Model 3 is much better. The price is very misleading on the Model 3 and even the Model S because of gas savings and environmental savings, long-term reliability, lost time, things like that. There's so many things to account for. In the Model S, it started off with their first production car, and now it's an autonomous car. And it's come such a long way since its initial release in just 7 years. I believe in 2013, something around there. I'll learn these details better as I go along. I'm packing so much content in my brain lately, I can't remember everything. So, that's the thing. Is Elon said, if he could have attracted better engineers, maybe the first 3 rockets wouldn't have exploded. But he had to be the chief engineer. Same with me. Maybe it wouldn't have taken 7 years for me to get this far if I would have been able to hire the other people to fill in my strengths. But ultimately, I needed time to work on myself in a lot of ways. And I'm an absolutely transformed person. I look at where I was then and where I am now, and just as a person, I'm a much different person. And I finally designed my life in a way that I can also give back. And I'm giving back through this content, but I'm also setting it up so that I can give back in reality. Not just content, but actually physical housing, physical villages, physical communities for people to live, work, play, love, learn, and pay it forward. And it's not just the wealthy, it's everyone. Everyone. And the Model S, Elon has truly inspired me. My wife has continually said, Elon is your guy. He is your guy. You need to get in contact with him. You're watching all these videos about him and his manufacturing process and how things are done and the lessons learned. He is your guy. He is the one that's going to help you. And then as I learn more about him, it makes more and more sense. His ideas about housing, the fact that, it takes the right people. And I wasn't ready for this. I wouldn't have been ready to work with someone like Elon until I had the experiences of even the last few months. Some major adversity and defeat. Like I basically compacted the most adversity and defeat as much as possible. Just bam, 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 bam. Just like, it's like, and I just had to learn. And a year ago, someone was teaching me some Kung Fu, and that was the point. It was so overwhelming that I just had to breathe. It was weird. And breathing was the most important thing. And if you could get back to your breathing, you could get back to everything. If you could just get back to that point. That point where you are creating life in that moment just by being you. Just by breathing. Without any thought of it. But if you add that thought and translate that thought through desire, extraordinary things can happen. You can send a rocket to space. You can mass produce an electric car when everyone thinks electric cars suck. And it's one of the most desired electric cars, one of the most desired cars out there. That's the thing. It's the car I want my wife to drive to work because it's safe. I mean, it's the Model S started this. The Model S really showed people. The Roadster was like, oh, it's nice. It's a nice prototype. And that's the same with the Happy Hero Studio. But the sedan, the one that the everyman could use, it's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you'll understand where the Happy Hero spaces will make more sense with combining them. It is the everyman space. It's a shell. Starts with the shell and it goes out from there to be able to help feed, house, and empower people. It can be used for anything. These shells can be used for anything. This infrastructure, what we're building a way for people to rapidly construct space when and where it's needed, transport it, move it, and also it's about the ecosystem of education, not of telling people how to think, but teaching people how to think, teaching people how to have critical thought and choose for themselves. And if they don't agree, this is about the infrastructure so that other people can create their own communities. It's not about, just me. It's about whatever works for people. Some communities, they're going to see, oh yeah, that doesn't work. And that's why I've designed these the way that I have, and I'm working the best to do it this way and guide it this way. But I'm putting so much content out there that people can copy me and do it their own way. That's the great part about it. That's the beauty of it. So I think that's what Elon's doing with the Tesla as well. And it started with the Model S, where they were releasing patents for other people to use and saying, look, we're trying to inspire the world to transition to sustainable energy. And with our housing, it's the same thing. With our space, it's the same thing. Sustainable space. Space and conditioning, air conditioning in space is so costly, using so many natural resources. We've got to understand how to harness the power of the sun and convert it into conditioned space for people to live, work, play, love, learn, and pay it forward in. I hope this episode really helped you understand what I'm doing and why the Model S is inspiring, why I am inspired, why Tesla is inspiring, and the significance of it all. I'm just a regular guy. I'm not even shaved since like Monday. Today's Monday. I think I shaved last Monday. I don't know. The point is that I'm working to improve these things, my daily habits. It's like, I used to forget to shower daily, and that's kind of bad to admit. But the point is that I'm getting better with that. I shower pretty much every day now. So, I don't think I've really missed a day recently. It's just about taking care of yourself. And, you get into this habit, and it may be hard to get out of, but the power of making this content and knowing that I have a purpose, and knowing that what I'm doing is going to impact lives, knowing that there's no better use of my time, knowing that Elon did it, that I can do it too. He wasn't a rocket engineer, but he became one. And I've been in the construction industry. I've been in the affordable housing industry. That's how I got started, was affordable housing. Some of the most affordable 3-bedroom houses in Jackson at the time. All the other houses were much bigger. People were wanting to spend an extra $100,000, $250,000 versus, $159,000. So, $90,000 to be accurate. But it's wild to look back, because those houses should have been selling like hotcakes. The marketing wasn't quite right. The real estate agents, the money was too rampant. And then when the market started crashing, the real estate market, it did weird things. But the houses were still worth that. They still cost that much to build. But all housing, you're talking about big houses selling for, thousands of dollars, just craziness. Just a few $1,000s, when previously they were selling for 50, 60,000. It was nonsense in reality, because nothing really changed other than mindset of the people. And it's manipulation of people. Manipulate it. It's bottom line. manipulate it with headlines, manipulate it with thoughts, manipulate it with ideas. And I'm looking to manipulate people into creation, into creating the lives that they want. And I've talked for a really long time about this, so I'm going to go now. But I hope I inspired you, and I hope you forgive me for talking so much about my own stuff rather than the Model S. But I hope you see how inspired I am by Elon and the Model S and Tesla Energy, and how much I am integrated into these spaces. Everyone should be driving a Tesla. Everyone should have Tesla roofs and power walls. You know, the grid backups. You know, with Power Pack, with Powerwall, Power Pack, and Mega Pack. It's oh man. Gigafactory, the semi, the lineup of vehicles when the pickup truck comes out. And if it wasn't for the success of the Model S, it wouldn't be happening. The company would have died. So that's where it starts. And that's why I'm so inspired. Thank you. Have a great day. Check out happyherostudio.com if you want to learn more.